Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special.
Oscar BEVIS, IFL TV MTK Global, delighted to be joined by my good mate, Del Boy, Derrick Osaze. How are we, mate?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I'm not bad. Well, I was disappointed for you because you were meant to fight on that Ultimate Box card and you returned a positive COVID test. What a shame.
Yeah, it's a bit, boy, still to this, it was a bit of a funny one, man. Still to this day, had no symptoms, wasn't ill. Obviously, I felt 100%. It was a bit of a shock, really, because I tested positive. Apparently, my coaches, or who I probably see maybe 2-3 times a day, every day, their test came back negative. Even to add insult to injury, I done 2 independent tests the following day. One came back negative, one came back positive. So which doesn't make sense. So if it was surely that I had the virus, then really, no matter how many tests I take, it should all come out, positive. Well, I've done 3 tests in the space of a day. Over 2 days. One's come out negative, 2 come out positive. So that even probably rubbed salt in the wound because it made it that more of a bitter pill to swallow, because obviously it's well known that the testing is not 100% accurate. So it kind of left me a reasonable doubt. Do you know what I mean? If all of them came back positive, then it's like, okay, cool. Even though I'm not ill, even though I've had no symptoms, maybe I did have the virus, but it just left out in my mind because, like I said, I didn't have no symptoms whatsoever. No one close to me has been affected as well, which, so it's a bit of a funny one. Like I said, I have a lot of friends in the medical field and stuff, and a lot of people have expressed, the testing isn't 100% accurate. Obviously, I understand that that's the policies and we have to follow it. But yeah, man, it was a bitter pill to swallow. Like, it took ages to get the results in the first place. It was literally 5 minutes for the weigh-in. So I think I'd done the interview with you literally about an hour before the weigh-in. Was chilled out, like didn't really do any training, during the time I was in the bubble, because I didn't really need to. We had done all the training, the weight was good. I think I was meant to be under 11.10 for that fight. I weighed myself with the scales I had with me that morning. I was 11.7, so I was cool. I was in shape. For literally 5 minutes for the weigh-in, get a phone call saying, that your test came out positive. So it was crazy. We was a bit baffled as to why the results took so long in the first place, because we done a test at 9:30 a.m. on a Sunday, and we didn't get our results till about 3:45, unless that someone they'd probably known beforehand. But yeah, it was just it was pretty crap, man. Because you know what I mean. It's been more than a year I've been out of the ring, and like I always say, I haven't been out of the gym. I had one show that got cancelled this last December. That was a few days before the fight was meant to happen. Had an injury earlier 2020, then obviously COVID lockdown. Originally, we was looking at fight dates in July. That fell through. Then it was August. August, I got told it was meant to be October. October got pushed 2 weeks back to November. Do you know what I'm saying? In the middle of that, had a child as well. So it wasn't ideal, but that's how the cookie crumbles, in it. We keep moving. But like I said, just the fact that, the test that I did obviously is probably going to be inconclusive because I've had negative results and I've had positive results. I think that's the only thing that sort of just made it a bit, I'm not so sure about this. Let's just say, by the time I got to this fight, I think there'd been that many, let's say, little obstacles that one had to overcome, that it was literally just sort of kind of like, just get through this fight, as in, not even just getting through the fight, but sort of just it was easier to look past all the minor setbacks and everything that could have seemed extremely hard about the last year. I kind of still had that, thing in my belly that just said, do you know what, just keep pushing. Yeah, it's been a rough however months, but it's all going to be worth it. on this fight. So obviously, like you said, you make sacrifices. I didn't spend as much time on my son as I would have loved to. Do you know what I'm saying? He was literally born on the 11th of October. I was due to box on the 10th of November, so I'm pretty much in camp. I'm running 8 miles in the morning and coming back and doing bottles in the evening. So full-time boxer, full-time dad. So it did leave a bitter pill to swallow, and obviously that all goes to waste. Obviously, camps are not, they're like, you don't go through camp without spending money in your camps as well. Obviously, you spend money. Obviously, now 2020 is gone. I haven't been able to get out this year, which is crazy considering I've barely been out of the gym, you know, and despite maybe the odd injury or, you know, COVID with the period where everyone had to self-isolate, but I've still kept in pretty good shape. So, yeah, man, it sucks, but it happens though, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, so at the end of the day, the way I see it, if the fight was meant to happen, it would have happened. So, yeah, so it's one of those things, man.
And being with Boxer as well, they're obviously fairly new into the promotional side of things. Fighters on matchroom cards, like when Peter Fury tested positive, they pulled Savannah Marshall's fight. She was on the next matchroom show in 2 weeks. With Boxer, that was their show to conclude the year, and then we go next year. So it's not like you could get back in 2 weeks. She was just like, "No, I'm not fighting. That's me done."
Yeah, it's just one of them things, because even 100%, if an opportunity came to, you know, pick up another fight, I definitely would have, because like I said, I was still, even though obviously I had a self-isolation period, which I had to obviously by law, not that I think that I needed it, to be honest, but obviously done that. And so I was at the gym for about, with the isolation period at 10 days, I was at the gym for about 2 weeks. About 10 days, so under 2 weeks. I literally came in the first session, I think the second session back, and I was already sparring. So I still kept in good shape. I was still running and whatnot. So I would have loved to get a phone call for a fight, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm that type of fighter that's going to get them phone calls to step in last minute. Because I know my opponent, John Telford, got a last minute fight on the Matchroom show. I know, is it the guy that was meant to be in the tournament who pulled out? I can't remember his name, but he boxed on the Matchroom show as well. Unfortunately, that's just how it was. If an opportunity came to box again before the end of the year, even with another promoter, then I'm sure there's something that we could have worked around, but it just didn't. So I kind of had a feeling that when that one fell through, it was looking like next year. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things though, man.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, John Telford ended up getting a fight as well, which has probably made things even a bit before my mate Louis Edmondson, and I know that it's probably not nice for you to see and all that, but I suppose this was a fight to try and set titles next year. Is it skipped to titles now next year, or do you still want perhaps one fight because you've been out for so long?
It's at that point now where literally, if it's a title fight, straight eliminator, like whatever. Obviously, it would be good to get the experience and go through rounds. But one thing I've learned in my career is that, you know, well, I knew this already, but my career has reminded me that nothing is as, you know, smooth sailing as you want it to be. Of course, you know, I would have loved to go the traditional way. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, get the area titles, get the English titles, go from the 4 rounds to the 6 to the 8s. But unfortunately, I just haven't been able to do that. Do you know what I mean? We were meant to box for area titles before I'm a boxer, and we said, well, when we win an boxer, sort of kind of, you know, I beat Taylor Jones, who was a former area champion. Do you know what I'm saying? I beat Grant Dennis, who was a former area champion and English title challenger. So we knew from after that, you know, we were looking at the English and stuff. And since then, obviously, politics, there's mandatories here and there that hasn't materialized, you know, COVID. So it's been like it's been something that we've been pushing for a while. We've been pushing for trying to make, you know, fights where it's not just going to be a win on my record, but it's going to be, you know, learning and bringing me on to experience fights. So John Telford, I think, would have been a decent opponent at that time. Even with the fight, you know, it being a 6 rounder and stuff, you know, ideally, that probably wasn't what me and my team wanted initially, but it was more of a thing of, you know what, I've been out of the ring for more than a year. The last time I boxed was last September. So I thought, you know what, just anything just to get the ball rolling. Do you know what I mean? I think I was at that point where I was just like, just get me out. Do you get what I mean? Like, whether it's a 10, 6, whatever, 8, 4, I don't care who it is, just get me out. So I think, yeah, like for me, I'm just gonna take any opportunity that comes, and like I believe that whatever's meant to happen will happen. So if that means going straight into a 10-round eliminator or going straight into a 10-round title fight, then so be it. Because I feel like I've been chasing titles for ages now, man. And just it's been stop-start. But like we said, 2021's in another year, so we'll see how it goes then.
You know what? When Sissoko pulled out of the fight with Kieran Conway, I thought, there's a weight difference. I thought, if I was matchmaker, I'd cut Derrick Osaze's leg off and you could fight Kieran again. Going to move on a bit now. Obviously, I know you're proud of your Nigerian heritage. I want to talk about a certain Anthony Joshua.
Okay.
Obviously, big in the news at the moment. Massive win over Pulev. I just want to know your take on things, because speaking to boxers about it, it's been perceived really weirdly. Like, some people say he looked the nuts. Some people say he looked vulnerable. Just want to know what your take is on things there.
I think first things first, when you get to AJ's level, right, it's a bit like Marmite. Some people love you, they'll swear by you, and some people just hate you. And I think with AJ, like, I watched the fight. I understand what some people were saying, that it was an interesting performance, but I think it was a good performance. To me, it seemed like AJ, in comparison to what people would have thought, he looked, calm, relaxed, looked like he was having fun there. So I'm saying there was many times when they caught him on the camera, like laughing and smiling and doing all this bravados with Pulev. So I don't really get what all the hate's about. AJ is the type of guy, if he does something, people are going to talk. If he doesn't do something, people are going to talk. It's like for the first Ruiz fight, people were saying, "Oh, AJ, why did you go for the knockout? Like, you should have be patient and boxed him." And then he went and boxed him in the second fight and won convincingly. And then they said, "Oh, he ran around the ring, he didn't want to engage." And then now he comes to the Pulev fight, and people are now saying, "Oh, he should have finished him off in the third round." Say he finished him off say he tried to finish him off in the third round, but I think the fight should have been stopped anyway. And then he gassed out, and Pulev came on, stronger in the later rounds. Then they would say, "Oh, why did you do that?" So I think it's one of them things, people are always going to find fault in what he does. But that's just a testament to, the type of person he is as a boxer, what he's achieved. But I think it was a good performance. I think it was a decent performance. I think, everyone that shout, like, Fury and Joshua will be a good fight. But I don't think it will be as straightforward as everyone thinks it is. Do you know what I'm saying? AJ is not Wilder. Fury, the way Fury bullied Wilder in the second fight, I don't think Fury can do that to AJ. Because AJ is technically a better boxer than Wilder. And he can punch as well. Do you know what I mean? And Fury as well hasn't had a faultless career. He has been dropped even by Steve Cunningham and Cruiserweight. So it'd be a good fight. But it's one of the fights that I love. But as a boxing purist, it's one of the fights where you have to deal with a lot of interesting viewpoints from, like, casual boxing fans and stuff. And I get a lot of people asking me, "Oh, Derrick, what do you think of this?" And I hear some outlandish stuff. So yeah, I thought the reaction was a bit weird. But I think with AJ, he's at that point now where whatever he does, someone's gonna find fault in it, innit? So, but I think it was a good fight. It was a good win. I thought he would have got him out there earlier. But Pulev is a tough guy, man. He's tougher than Otto Wallin. Do you know what I mean? He's a better fighter than Otto Wallin, and I think now people need to respect AJ's resume. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. You talk about them viewpoints because you've almost got, like, manic Fury fans, manic AJ fans.
Yeah.
And they're never going to agree with each other in that sense.
Yeah. And I think with the manic Fury fan, like, I like Fury. I like both fighters. I'm a boxing purist. Like, I like both of them. Of course, AJ is kind of like my bro, so obviously I'll back AJ. But I think we need to be, in this debate, we need to be honest with ourselves. Do you know what I mean? If we want to talk resumes, I've always said I think now AJ has a better resume than Fury. Other than Klitschko and Wilder, who you can question because Wilder doesn't have a resume himself. So other than the Klitschko fight, and obviously how he boxed amazing against, like, Wilder in the second fight, and obviously his comeback and whatnot, his resume is not that great. Other than that, Chisora, obviously got Steve Cunningham, like, his resume, so I think Fury fans, I understand there are some AJ fans that will swear by AJ and say, yeah, Fury's going to get knocked out. But there's some Fury fans that will say, yeah, Joshua's rubbish, which is a lie. So I think people just need to be a bit more truthful, to be honest. Like, I think AJ defo boxed the better Klitschko. The Klitschko that boxed Fury was a Klitschko that had, ruled the division for so many years. And I think mentally, he just wasn't there that night. And I think the Klitschko that came and boxed AJ was probably, he definitely turned the clock back a few years, do you know what I'm saying? So I think in that regard, he's not respected enough, do you know what I mean? But of course, you know, when you have, you know, your diehard fans, anything you do is going to shine, do you know what I mean? I'm a fan of both of them, but I look at it from, you know, honest perspective, and I say that, you know, Fury's a great boxer and he probably is the favourite, but it's heavyweight boxing. And it's not like Fury has a granite chin. He's been dropped, AJ's been dropped. So whoever hits who first, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we're all looking forward to a bell going and that first little engagement. So just not really on Fury and Joshua, but just on Pulev quite quickly. As a boxer, when you saw Pulev turn his back there, I think most people thought it was going to be stopped. Did you find that a little bit weird? Because I suppose if you thought it was going to be stopped and that was you in the ring, you might pull back. When really he was vulnerable there, Pulev. It was a bit strange.
Yeah, I found that very weird because it looked like at first maybe something happened. It looked like he gave up. It looked like maybe he was injured or something, or
like a burst eardrum or something.
Yeah, or something. It was very weird. Like I watched it and I thought, hey. But I think AJ did the right thing because even if Pulev turned his back, if you hit a boxer while his back is turned, then you're probably going to get told off by the referee anyway. So, and I think also, I can imagine being in AJ's position and just being a bit baffled, like, huh? It wasn't like he just turned his back for a split second. He literally turned his back. He's put his head on the, he's literally gone to the corner. He's got his chest on the ropes, and he looks like he's basically saying, yo, like, I give up. And then it was even weirder because then after that, he came back even stronger, Pulev. So, people said that, I don't know what they said, that the rules, I've heard like people saying that rules meant that he should have been automatically given as a TKO to AJ if he turned his back. But then I think what the referee did, it was good. It was good for him to carry on. I think he probably saw something in Pulev that he wasn't hurt. Do you know what I mean? It was only the third round of the fight. And I think from a referee's perspective, he was probably seeing that from that point that he couldn't see Pulev coming back, and probably AJ was bound to stop him anyway. But it just, I think it caught everyone by surprise because it was just weird the way it happened.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It was good that it sort of carried on because there was obviously still fight left in Pulev. It was a good fight while it went on. Just finally on you, Derrick. So have you spoke to the guys at Ultimate Boxer? I mean, now you said you've been in the gym so much this year. Do you take Christmas off? Not off completely, but do you relax for Christmas, or what's the next 6 months for you?
I've still been training. I think the only thing I'm doing different is, you know, so normally when I'm ticking over, like, I think so even when I say the term ticking over, like, I think it's only recently I've had to actually make a clear distinction between ticking over and training, because sometimes I'm ticking over and I'm still in the gym 2, sometimes 3 times a day on some days during the week. So, and then when I'm fighting, I'm in the gym the same amount of time. So I think just around Christmas, just for staying fit, keeping running, I'm still training once a day. So just making sure, you know, my fitness days that I've been sparring as well, here or there. You know, nothing too heavy, just doing some light stuff in the gym. In terms of how I've spoken to the boxer guys, nothing as of yet. To be honest, I haven't spoken to any of them since the day. So yeah, take that how you want to take that. But no, I'm joking. Let me not start any controversy. But no, nothing from them yet. So I can imagine, obviously, it'll be to the new year, whatnot. So yeah, but we'll see. But I leave that to my manager. My manager, he sorts out all that stuff. So I just keep my head down. I think it was important that I had those few days out of the gym after, because it's just been non-stop. It's been a lot of stop and start. And it's like I've been through, I'd say about 3, I'd say 3 camps, fight camps. I've had 2 cancelled fight dates that have been cancelled either on the day before. The last one was 4 days before, and then other camps where dates didn't, you know, materialize. So although I haven't fought, the camps take a lot out of you. Do you know what I'm saying? Physically and mentally. So I feel like having the days that I have had out of the gym, I think was much needed, especially because, you know, when you're boxing, you're fighting, you might have the odd niggle here or there where you just sort of kind of ignore while you're fighting. But, you know, so I think this is giving me time to go see my physio. Just taking time to let the body relax. But yeah, I'm always going to be in the gym. I normally have a few days off around Christmas, but I still carry on doing my runs and stuff. Yeah, try to do other stuff, like, you know, I might go and play basketball, do something like that. Just stay active, stay fit. Like, I love sports. So that's me. So I'm always going to stay busy because I can't sit. I can't sit around for too long. That's just not me. So yeah.
And obviously, you're a religious man as well. You do, the punch and preach. I can imagine Christmas in your household is quite a celebrated time as well. So is it going to be weird this year? Because I can imagine you spend a lot of time in church normally, or.
Contrary to popular belief, obviously we mark Christmas in church, but I think more Christmas for me, is more just about spending time with your loved ones and your family. Do you know what I mean? Christmas for me is always busy because I'm from a big family. I'm number 5 out of 6 siblings. So there's that many nieces and nephews now, and obviously the other side of my family, my wife's family. So Christmas becomes like a bit of a tour. It's like see this family, go to this brother's house, go to this sister's house. So it gets quite manic, it gets busy, but I guess that's the beauty of it, when you're in for a family like for our families, especially for my family, because we're quite a big family, it's always hard to get all of us at the same time. So Christmas is probably maybe one of the few times in the year where you're guaranteed that everyone's always going to be around. So we try our best to, make sure, we spend ample time together. Yeah, just enjoy the period. So I think Christmas is always good for me because I see it as the reset button stage. So that's the time I just hit reset button, and more likely it just makes me come back in the new year. I'm much more, relaxed, but hungrier and fighter. So I think rest is so important. Obviously, people don't talk about it enough in boxing because everybody wants to come out like they're Rocky. Do you know what I mean? And they're training 5 times a day, 7 days a week. But I think if you're being real, you know what I'm saying, even a lot of boxers this year, especially the type of year it's been, will understand the importance of, not just physical rest, but mental rest, man. Sometimes you can do all the work physically and you can be in the gym and do sparring, but sometimes your mind just needs a break. So I think, Christmas is, especially with all that's going on this year, should be, a time of rest for a lot. But at the same time, I knew that I want to get out as soon as possible on the first available date, be it January or February. So I'll definitely be keeping in shape.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.